Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our session on Power BI, friends. I hope everyone is doing well. Yeah. So, friends, it's our 15th day on Power BI, and we are on data visualizations topic. So, we'll quickly recap what we have understood in the last day, then we'll start the class. Right. So, in the last class, we have discussed uh, the bar charts. So, we understood when we are supposed to visualize stacked bar chart, stacked column, then clustered bar chart, clustered column chart, 100% stacked bar and 100% stacked column charts. Almost all, majority of all the formatting options across these options, these visuals are seen. And in the first hand, why do we visualize a bar chart and column chart? When we want to compare the performance, okay, when we want to generally go for the comparison, it might be products, it might be the performance, sales, or whatever it might be, we generally go with bar or column charts. So stacked bar represents the bars aligned in the horizontal direction, the bars aligned in the horizontal direction, and the bars get piled up one over the other. So this is nothing but stacked bar. The same bars, if I make it vertically aligned, it's nothing but column chart, right? So the difference between stacked bar and clustered bar. In stacked bar, the bars get piled up one over the other, whereas in clustered bar, the bars, the rectangles, will be made as a group. You'll observe it as a cluster, segment. Yes. Then we also discussed 100% stacked bar and 100% stacked column. So 100% means each and every bar, each and every rectangle will be of same length. It is representing the 100%. Out of this 100%, what is the what is the contribution of one product? Or if I take one single product, what is the contribution that we get from Chicago, from different locations, New York, San Francisco, so on? Okay, so you can also compare the products. You can do comparison in this way as well, right? Yes, the formatting options are all same formatting options, nothing else, friends. Then we understood line chart. Line chart is generally visualized when we work on time series data. What is time series data? The data in which there is uh, time. We have the data recorded in the sequence of time. Time, do you mean time, Akhil? Not exactly time, friends. Even though if you have the date related column, because date is also part of time, right? So you can capture your data in years, months, days, hours, minutes, seconds. Yes, all of these are nothing but time series data. Okay, whatever it might be, in whichever fashion the data might be recorded, but if it contains or if the data is recorded using this time series, time related column, then we can go and use, you know, line chart. Okay, so line chart helps us to visualize time series data. Got it? Yep. So we have an additional option where we can compare the actual with the target. So this is the unique option that we get from time chart. On x-axis we'll take the date. On y-axis we'll go with the column that we are going to visualize with respect to the time. Okay, we can compare this y-axis with secondary y-axis column. Okay, we can compare it with secondary y-axis column. Yes. Then we also discussed, you know, area chart. Area chart has also been discussed. The same line chart, if we are going to shade the region between the line and the x-axis, it becomes an area chart. We also have an option within line chart itself uh, to get the shaded region or not. So if you make it as that shaded region, it is nothing but area chart, friends. Okay, so this area chart is again of the same type, stacked area, 100% stacked area. Same like column chart and bar chart, like whatever we have, stacked area. So when you try to visualize the data for multiple products across the time, okay, so you can stack the area one over the other. It clearly indicates which product is giving us more profit, or which product is being sold, which product has more sales in the market. Everything can be understood well when we go with stacked area, because the data gets piled up, right, one over the other. Then 100% stacked area represents all of the lines that we are going to visualize. The line charts will be of 100%, will be of same length, and we are supposed to interpret the chart. So till here we have understood yesterday, right? I assume people, whoever students or folks whoever are joining these sessions, they're also doing some kind of hands-on by taking any of the data sets which are available. The reason is these formatting options for any visual, until unless if you don't work on them, you know, you cannot memorize them, right? Yes. So probably for 2 3 days again now. Tomorrow also we'll have the visualizations part only. Then we'll start with the new topic. Right. Now I'll go to the next level with respect to the visualizations. So we have discussed till 100% stacked area chart, friends. Okay. Next to stacked area charts, so line chart, area charts. These are area charts. So all of these are generally used to visualize time series data. Okay. Then next to line chart and area charts, we have combination of both. What are these both? Column chart and line chart. Stacked column chart and line chart. Clustered column chart and line chart. The combination, we have it in the second row. I'm just hovering my mouse. You see line and stacked column chart. So this one combined with this one. Line chart combined with stacked column chart will give us line and stacked column chart. But what is a primary, when should we use this chart? Okay, when are we supposed to use this chart? Is you can represent the data within the columns, nothing but these bars, vertically aligned. Along with that, we also have a line. We can also represent the data in line. Means I'll talk about the options that we have. X-axis, then which data you are going to pass for columns. Okay, for columns to the y-axis, we are supposed to pass a field. Then the same, which field are we going to pass for the line? Okay. Then legend, small multiples, tooltips. These are same, the same options. So what can I interpret is, if I work on time series data, assume if I work on time series data, and if I want to interpret it, okay, in which I have target date, okay, I have the targets and I also have the actual. Then this line and column chart, stacked column chart will make sense. I hope you got my point. I'll better mark it, the date for the x-axis. Then anyhow I don't have the target, but still I'll try to you know visualize it. I'll take total amount for columns. So split, split. Yeah. Okay. Since we discussed the data that we are working on is for only 1 month. Okay. The entire data was recorded only for a month. It is Jan 23. Okay. So that's what it is giving us the information. 23 quarter 1 January. All the 30 days. We are supposed to have 31, but we just had only for 30. Right. So for column, I took the total amount. So this is the total amount that we have got from all the products on individual days. Day 1, day 2, day 3, so on, day 30. For suppose, assume that you also have the target that you are supposed to get on each and every single day. Assume on day 1, I had a target of $1,500. Day 2, $500. So assume if I have the data in that fashion, I can represent my target for line. The original value that we got, the actual total amount that we have collected was given to columns. Then I can give my target values for line, so that wherever the bar crosses beyond the line, you know, it would make sense that we have achieved the target on that specific day. I hope it's making sense, but still I don't have these values. So normally I'll go with quantity. Let me bring to line y axis. See, in this fashion, you'll get friends. But this is not the correct way because I don't have the right data, right columns. But if I have the target, so this is representing my actual amount. And if I also have the target amount that I'm supposed to get on each and every day, then the line will represent in this fashion. Okay. So if the bar is going beyond the line for any specific day, it means we have achieved the target on that specific day. And if the bar is not going beyond the line, it means we did not achieve the target. So here we have achieved. Here we have achieved, because you see the original amount that we got, the actual amount is greater than this line. So I'm just assuming, if I assume this line is my target, okay, then this would make sense. Then what is this legend, Akhil? Yeah, legend is the way. For example, if you want to look at for all the locations, see, at all the locations, you'll have the data on each and every single day. What is the amount that we have got is represented using the bars. Okay, then tooltips, the same additional information. If you want to get the additional information and all, you can add to the tooltips also. Like I'll discuss about the formatting options. Friends, the formatting options will be same. Formatting options doesn't change between the first two, the first two rows. across all these 12 charts, 12 visuals, majority of these formatting options will be same. You can observe a slight differences, that's it. So for x-axis, nothing but the date. Would you like to change the font style? You can make it bold, italic, color. Okay, you can also increase the height of the label and all. Okay, you can concatenate the labels. See, previously if I make it off, it is just representing the dates. If I concatenate, it starts from here. From the year it starts. See friends, 23 quarter 1 January 1st. So it goes on like this. Okay, so anyhow, it's not. I feel it clumsy, so I'll make it off. In the same way for y-axis, you can represent your maximum range. Okay, you can customize it. You can also give the minimum range. Okay, so you can define your maximum and minimum values. Then okay, you can also invert the range if possible. You can format the values. Okay, you can apply the same concepts on x-axis. Whatever the options that we have for x-axis, the same are available. The color can be changed. You can make it bold and all. Then display units, I'm keeping it as auto, but if you have any big number, you can change it accordingly. Okay, according to the list, we can change. You can also focus on the decimal values, but still, I don't. I need not worry about the decimal values and all. Everything is looking fine for me. Okay, then you can also switch axis. Okay, so that means x-axis will be reversed to y-axis. I mean, you can switch it. Y-axis and secondary y-axis can be switched. Okay, I'll make it off. And then the title. Okay, so this title that you see here, you can also work on the title text. If you don't want to have it auto, you can give your own title. So again, the formatting options for the title. So all the formatting options are same, right? Yes. Then secondary y-axis. So for this axis also we have the formatting options. The same minimum maximum range can be defined. You can align the zeros as well. You can change or you can work on the values. Okay, you can format the values, make it bold, change the color. Okay, you can also work on the title part. The same. Whatever the options that we have for the y-axis, we also have the same options for secondary y-axis. Yep. Then coming to legend, where would you like to place the legend? Towards the left, right, or bottom, center, down, yeah, wish. Okay. How would you want to represent it? Would you like to represent it as a marker? I mean, by a circle by default, or would you like to change it? So, okay. So you can also have it as a line. See, is it only yes, sum of quantity, right? Line and markers. So I can change all these friends. Okay, I'm just clicking on reset to default. Done. Then next to legend, we have grid lines, right? So would you like to make on the grid lines or would you like to off it? Okay, if they're not visible, you can increase the transparency, you can change the color, you can change the style of the line. Okay, if you don't want to have it as dotted, make it as solid so that probably you can see the grid line. Okay, so the same. That's what. If you understand these formatting options perfectly for one, if you understand for one visual, you can play with other visuals. But identifying the right color palettes, it would make sense, friends. See, everyone can make these, but they should look they should look very attractive, right? Yes. So you can make on the zoom slider the same option that we have got yesterday. Then you can work on the columns. So if you don't want to have these colors, you can change them. Okay. So on. Would you like to apply for all? Yes. Or which Houston you can change. If you're not satisfied with the default colors, you can change accordingly. Would you like to add any border? So I'll keep all, for all I'll keep, for all let me on the border. See, you'll get the border, and for the border also, which color you would like to add, you can select the required color and reduce or increase the transparency. Okay, then you can hide the inner borders. Inner borders can be hidden when you click on this make this button on, right? So this is for columns. Then in the same way we have for lines. Okay, so for especially with respect to lines, it is like solid, right? Would you like to make it as dashed or dotted? Custom, you can customize it. So solid is making sense. Probably I'll keep it as it is. Then joint type, would you like to have it as a round or meter or bevel? Okay, let me keep it. Okay, I'll go with the round itself. Then the color, would you like to change? You can change. Okay, I'm not working on any of the formatting options for lines. Then shade area, would you like to shade the area with respect to the x-axis from the line? The area chart comes into the picture, friends. Area chart, right? So would you have it as an area chart or line chart? You decide. The same options. Then the markers. Okay, when you're applying for all. Okay, yes, I'll show for all categories. See, what kind of marker, what shape would you like to go with? Square, diamond, triangle, cross. It's nothing but capital X. Okay, hyphen, then dash, plus. Okay, so you can use your required shape. The color can be changed, the border same, whatever we have discussed for line chart, those options you'll find over here. Okay, so you can also have any border. Okay, for these markers you can also have the borders, so even those things can be discussed. Then you can also turn on the data labels. See, you can turn on the data labels. Anyhow, this chart, whatever you're observing is not making sense, I can understand, but assume. Okay, so this is total amount and this is quantity. You cannot compare both because they don't belong to the same. Okay, so if you have the actual total amount that was that we got, and if you have the target total amount, the amount, okay, then we can compare. Or the quantity that was sold and the target quantity. Okay, so we'll have some target sales, right? So if you have those two columns also, we can compare. But we are comparing some two non-related columns, but still assume, friends, because we don't have such kind of columns in the data. We'll work on it and we'll get the right one. Then the data labels formatting options for the same. They same in the picture and all. Then next to data labels, we have series labels. Excuse me. So series labels. So this entire line is nothing but it's talking about the quantity. Okay, so the moment you make it on, you'll get a series label, right? So anyhow, it is represented in the legend. I don't want to make it again added. Then would you like to have any total labels? The total labels option that we had in bar chart and column chart option, we can have it over here as well. Okay, we have it here. We can format the values. You can add the background. Okay, you can change the background color. Probably white is not making sense. Yeah, this is also not. Let me reduce the transparency. Oh, yeah, this is making sense. I hope it's clear. Yes. So this is how we can have a combination of line and column charts. Akhil, why cannot we have a combination of line and bar chart? Friends, bar chart, all these rectangles, all the bars will be arranged horizontally. So it's even when you try to compare, first of all, we cannot visualize that such kind of charts. Impossible. But column charts, all the bars are aligned vertically so that we can have a line chart. Yes, it would make sense. So we have two combination charts. These are nothing but combo charts. These two are called as combo charts. Line and stacked column, line and clustered column. Okay. Then we also have the general formatting options. Okay, whatever you see here are again the same. So you can probably rename your title. I'll make it as, what is this chart? Line and stacked column chart. Then I'm changing the heading to the type. I'll give it as 4. Then I'll increase in size. I'll change the text. Okay, this is fine. Probably background color, something like this. Yep. Let me align horizontally. I mean at the center. Then bold. Yep. Is it making sense? Yes, it is. Okay, so all the general formatting options are also available. You can add some effects, you can format the data, you have the header icons, tooltips and all. Then by default, whatever the format, the options that you see here, again they are same. Since we have the hierarchical data, you can see the drill on options. The drill on options are available. Drill up, drill down, then drill down to one level without representing the parent level, and drill down to the next level in the hierarchy representing the parent level. Okay, so these are the options that we have already understood with respect to matrix chart. So friends, in case if you have missed it by chance, go and complete the session that we have discussed on matrix visualization. Okay, so wherever there is hierarchical data, you will find this drill on options. In simple, you should remember in this way. Okay, right. Then next to drill on options, we have focus mode. I mean filters, focus mode. So when you click on this focus mode, what happens is, out of all the visuals that you have in the report, only that particular visual gets focused. Once probably after discussing or giving your presentation to the client about this particular important visual, you can go back to the report level. So focus mode will actually take or from that particular page, from that particular report, it just takes you to one more page where it gets focused. Only that particular tile gets focused. Okay, then under the ellipse, the same options, export data, you can export the data to a CSV file. Then you can also visualize the data as a table. See friends, as a table you can visualize. Okay, so this is the visual, this is the table. Then you can remove that particular tile, you can put some light, see, so that the backgrounds and all gets highlighted. Okay, kind of spotlight. Then you can also sort the data. Okay, so accordingly you can sort the data either in ascending or descending. Clear. So in the same way, we also have clustered column chart. Let me make this clustered, I mean line and cluster stacked column chart. I'll convert to line and clustered column chart. See. So stacked column became clustered column. But it's not that much good looking. I feel it like clumsy, and in some areas even the values are not that much good. They're not looking good. Probably Let us go back and switch to line and stacked column chart. Yep, this is fine. So can I save it? Yep. Line or in simple combo charts. Combo chart. Done. So we are done with the majority of the visualizations because these are generally, widely used. Comparison, time series data, then the combination charts are widely used. Apart from it, we also have a few more we'll discuss. Okay. So the next one that we are going to discuss is a chart that we have learned from our school days. From our school days, yes. How many of you remember pie chart, friends? Pie chart. What is a pie chart, Akhil? Don't ask me such kind of question. All of us have completed our schooling, and for sure we are able. We should have some idea. We should have some knowledge on this pie chart. So come on, friends. How many of you are aware of pie chart? Hmm. Yes. So you see here, pie chart in the third row, fifth column, we have a pie chart. So we probably, in our statistics subject, okay, under mathematics, we have a subject called statistics where we represent our data, okay, in the form of shares, proportions, percentages, and one of my favorite problem, a person gets this much income and his expenditure is this much, and his he'll probably look for his family, this much amount will be consumed. So there is a problem on in mathematics, especially in the statistics subject, so where we used to use a pie chart to represent all the expenditure of his income, savings, entertainment, and all. Right? So this is the same chart, friends. Okay, I'll load the pie chart to the report. Just observe. It's a pie chart. Akhil, for me, it's a ball. Hmm. Friends, this is not cricket. Okay, right. So this is a pie chart where the data is represented in the form of proportions, shares, percentages, yavish, segments, whatever it might be. Okay, so you see, the data will be represented in the form of proportions. This is the share, this is the share, this is one share, this is the other one. Okay, so if you want to represent the same data in proportions, shares, percentages, then we have to go and visualize a pie chart. Pie chart will be the best ideal chart for representing shares, proportions, and percentages. Next to pie chart, we have donut chart. Donut, Akhil, are you talking about eatable donut? Yes. All of us have consumed donuts, right? Yes. So donut chart is named after its shape. Even donut chart, okay, donuts they also look similar to pie chart, but additionally you'll observe an inner circle. An outer circle with an inner circle is representing a donut. But in pie chart, no inner circle. There is only one circle, and within the circle, I'll do some kind of, I'll represent the data, the percentages, the shades. So these two, donut and pie charts, are generally used to represent shades, proportions, percentages. Then what is the difference? Only the difference that you'll see is with respect to visualization. In pie chart, you'll observe only one circle. In donut chart, you'll find two circles, the inner one and the outer one. Okay, I'll first work on pie chart, then we'll go for donut because this is something easy for us. Okay, this is not something new, and I'll take very less time to explain pie chart generally, friends. Right. So I'll take probably, okay, first of all, what are the options that we have? I have legend, then the values, details, and tooltips. I'll start with legend, or probably I'll take category first. How many categories we have with respect to the products? There are four categories: clothing, electronics, furniture, and grocery. Okay, so if I want to represent all of these categories with respect to the proportions, percentages, okay, so how much amount we are going to get from each and every category? Simple. How simple it is. I can clearly understand now. I'll make it big. So 35% of the total amount was from furniture. Then followed by friends. Moreover, when you are trying to interpret any plot, observe carefully. Okay, a pie chart always starts exactly at the 12. If you assume this is a clock, okay, so where do we have 12? Exactly here at this position? Yes. So a pie chart always starts at 12 and then it represents the share of the maximum. Whatever the category has the maximum share will be the first proportion, will be at the first place. Then followed by the next one. Then followed by the other one. And finally, the last category with least share. So descending order. This completes the circle. And if you want to have the additional information, you can add that particular column under tooltips. Okay, Akhil, no, it's not like that. Categories, okay, that's fine. 9K, 7K, 6K, 3K. This is the amount that I'm getting from different categories. And the percentage is also over here. That's perfect. But under each and every category, we have products, right? But I don't have the information regarding products. So if you would like to have products information, you know, where is the product name? Drag and get below the legend. But still I don't see, Akhil. You see the drill on options? Yes. Because I'm working on hierarchical data, right? If you are working on hierarchical data, you'll observe drill on options. See, first I'll go with one level next in the hierarchy. So one level down is next to categories we have products. So list of the products and their share starting at 12 and the maximum followed by next so on till the last. Okay, then okay, I'll undo it. Okay, so this is looking perfect, right? Again, the same options. You can sort the axis. Okay, export the data to a CSV file, show it as a table, remove it, and the same. I'll discuss about the formatting options before we go and visualize a donut chart because the formatting options will be very less. For pie chart and donut chart, only these four. Okay, so legend, would you like to on? Only if I make it on, it would make sense. So I'll keep it on. And the formatting options. Okay, where would we like to position this legend? So I kept by default, I'm going with the center right. At the center towards the right side of the tile, I'll have the legend. And the same formatting options, friends. No change with respect to the formatting option of legend. Then coming to slices. By default, it is giving some colors. If you are not satisfied with these colors, you can change them. So select the product, go and change. Select the product, go and change. I'm okay with this. I'll go with the colors. Okay, I'm not changing any colors. because I'm not that much good at color palettes and all, right? Then the data labels, by default, it will be on yes. If you keep it off, it would make nothing. It doesn't make sense, right? So where would you like to position them? Outside or inside? See, or prefer outside, okay, or prefer inside. So same. So I'll keep it as outside only. Then the label contents what all you want. Would you want only the category name, data value, only the data value, percent of the total, what is the share? You see here, then category data value, then category percent of total. I want all detail labels. So when you keep all detail labels, you'll have like this. Actually, anyhow, it is representing the color is representing by the legend, right? So it's not required. The product name is not required. Then go with data value percentage. Yeah, wish. Okay. Again, the values they are displayed as auto, right? If you keep it as none, you'll get the original value. Before, what happened is it is rounding off, friends, to the nearest thousands. Okay. I'll keep it as none so that I'll get the original values. So when you do or when you make your hands dirty, you'll get good exposure to these formatting options. Okay, so this is perfect for me. I'll go back, and finally the last and the only formatting option that you'll observe in pie chart and donut chart is rotation. Is rotation. What is this rotation? Rotation means, so it's a wheel, right? It is nothing but it's a wheel. It is representing a wheel shape. You can rotate this pie chart, isn't it? Yes. See how am I rotating? For better understanding, this is what is this? This is LED desk lamp. Okay. So the first product that we have is LED desk lamp. After rotating, what's happening to it? See. So after rotating to 170 degrees, I'll make it exactly 180 so that it will be semicircle, half ton. So the product that we have LED desk lamp here got rotated to 180 degrees. So in this way, you can rotate your pie chart. You can control it. See. Okay. So the only four formatting options, a very simple chart to display shares, proportions, and percentages. It's pie chart. Okay. So probably this is not good, but still. So if you want to also have the parent level, go with this, friends. See, got it? The same pie chart, I'll convert to donut chart. What I am supposed to do, the pie chart that we have, I'm converting it to donut chart. Just click on it. When you click on it, you the pie chart gets converted to donut chart. What is the difference here? Only the visual? Yes, only the visual, friends. Apart from the visual, I don't see anything else. I mean, the differences. In pie chart, only one circle. In donut chart, an inner circle will also be added. So this is representing a donut. The donut that we generally consume, it is representing the same. Okay, then followed by the same formatting options. Yes, better I'll make it to 0. Yeah. Okay, so the general formatting options are seen. So this is a pie chart or donut chart. I'll rename it pie chart. Don't just think that unnecessarily we are going to create all these visualizations. We are understanding each and every visualization. Okay, trying to understand all majority of the important visualizations that we are going to learn as part of this program, and these visualizations will be used in our dashboard creation. What is our end product? Our end product is dashboard, friends. All of these are reports. Report 1, report 2, report 3, so on. Okay, so each page is representing a report, and within a report, what's happening? The data or the charts get interacted with each other. Already we have discussed this point, right? Are they really interacting? Yes, you select any one of the product. See, I selected one product from one chart, from one tile in table and matrix visuals page report. What happened to rest of the tiles? Immediately the data, the charts that are present in the same report, they have interacted, and accordingly it gave us the result. But you will not find the same in dashboard, friends. In dashboards, the charts don't interact with each other. It's a single story. I mean, it's a single page storytelling point. In a single page, you'll understand the entire story of your business. That's how we represent a dashboard. In dashboard level, you cannot have the tiles or the charts interacting with each other. Only at the report level you can have the charts interacting with each other. Okay, right. So we also covered pie chart and donut chart. Next to pie chart and donut chart, we have scattered chart, scatter plot. How many of you are aware of a scatter plot? What is a scatter plot? Come on, friends. What is a scatter plot? Any idea? No idea, probably. Okay, a scatter chart or a scatter plot is generally visualized to understand the relation between. It is generally represented using dots. That's fine. But what are these dots telling at the end of the day? What are these dots? The points are representing is scatter plot generally talks about the relation between two variables. Variables, nothing but columns, friends. Fields. If I should use the technical terminology, it is two fields. You take any two fields, okay, and in order to get the relation between those two fields, we have to go with scatter plot. Okay, so I'll just anyhow, there is no kind of data that can be used to visualize scatter plot. We don't have the right data, but still, total amount, quantity. So probably for different products. Ah. So if you see here, how is the relation between the quantity that was sold with total amount, the amount that we got for each and every product. Okay, so you see it is representing the dots with the dots. Electric kettle is the product name where the quantity is sold very less, 13, And the amount that we got is also very less, 508. But you see here, this is office chair where the quantity that was sold is 57 and the amount that we got is 2300, right? So a scatter chart or a scatter plot generally tries to establish, it explains the relation between two variables using dots. This is called as scatter fence. Since we have very minimal data, small data, we are unable to interpret more. But in general, you know, uh, you'll understand what you are understanding from this particular chart. I can say that if the quantity is more, for sure the amount is also more. Yes, yes, in majority of the cases. But we also have some kind of outliers, extreme values. Okay, so we'll not get into what is this extreme values, outliers, and all. But you see in this direction, so we have a positive correlation between quantity and total amount. That's what we can interpret from this chart. Okay, so I'll not talk about more because this is a complete, it's a big topic that we have with respect to scatter chart, scatter plot. Okay, so it takes at least it takes more time to explain a scatter chart in depth because it talks about three main things: linearity, strength, and direction. So it takes time, friends. So let us not go into that. One thing that we have to understand is what is the purpose of visualizing scatter plot is we can understand the relation between two variables. What kind of relation we have between two variables? Nothing but two columns, two fields. Yes. Okay. I'll ignore it. Uh, so this is nothing but ribbon chart that we have got actually from the stacked column chart, the same ribbon chart. Okay, so this is, I'll ignore these two, waterfall and probably I can go with funnel. I'll go with funnel. I'll explain what is this funnel chart. Okay, see, whenever since we just have the data, we have the charts, it doesn't mean any of these charts can be used. According to the data, we have to use the right chart. Okay, so there should be some kind of proper way to choose the right chart. So identify the purpose. First of all, what is the purpose of visualizing this chart should be understood. Then go with the data, right? So funnel chart. You see funnel chart, it is representing what? The funnel that we generally use in our daily day. You probably, uh, we use funnels, right? So that whatever we are trying to fill or whatever we are trying to pour exactly into the location gets into the source, right? So in the same way, we have a funnel chart. Funnel chart generally displays the drastic reduction in the data. Okay, when you're trying to visualize a data where you have drastic reductions or progressive deductions, there we go and use funnel chart, right? So any best example, the best example that I always give is interviews, friends. When you give an interview, will you directly be hired? No, there is a process for it. What is the process? The first phase is your resumes. When you apply, your resume should be shortlisted. For example, there is a company called ABC, and for this company ABC, they have some 5 vacancies. Do you observe only 5 people, applying for these 5 jobs? No, thousands of applications will come. Thousands of people apply for these 5 positions. Today's market, there is a lot of competition in real time. Okay, so thousands of applications comes for these 5 jobs, 5 vacancies. Out of these thousands of applications, the first round will be shortlisting our resume. So in the first round itself, majority of the people gets, they will be thrown out. Their resume doesn't get shortlisted. Might be, poor skills, might be the requirement doesn't match, lack of experience, so on. There might be n number of factors. Okay, so the first step is our resume should be selected. Then, what is the second phase? Second phase will be your, probably nowadays, everyone, wherever you see, they're conducting a kind of test assignment and all, right? So we are supposed to clear that assignment. Then, third step, technical interview. Fourth step, HR. And fifth step will be finally we clear the interview. That means we got hired. So if you observe this data that you have, for the first phase you'll have 1,000 applications. Coming to the second phase, probably it may become only 500, right? So only 500 people may write the exam, may take the assignment. Then will all the 500 people clear the exam or assignment? No, only 250 people may clear the assignment. They'll go to technical interview. Okay, so out of these 250 people, only 40 or say 30 people go for HR. In HR, only 5 people get the job. So this kind of data, you see, there is a drastic progressive reduction. That kind of data can be best visualized using funnel chart. Okay, so that is the purpose of a funnel chart. If you want to visualize any data in which we have progressive reductions, okay, so funnel chart would make sense. Anyhow, we have the data we are trying to visualize, but still, this data doesn't fit. But for explaining, yep, I do explain. Right. So I'll make it. I'll stop it here. Tomorrow we'll discuss the map visuals. Okay, field map. Then the normal map visual that we have. Okay, and we'll also discuss tree map visualization. Then R visuals and Python visuals. So probably we can complete all the important visualizations by tomorrow, but still that doesn't mean visualizations are done, friends. Okay, so all this, as I have told, Power BI is used for visualizing, right? So still we'll visualize the data in upcoming topics, that is Power BI service. Okay, so I'll complete off the majority of the visualizations, the important visualizations by tomorrow, and the next class we'll go with Power BI service. So there I'll tell you the important steps, how to sign in, what are the steps to be followed and all we'll discuss. Right. So I'll stop the day here. And if you have any kind of questions, yes, feel free to ask. Okay. Don't assume that Akhil is going to, I'm not going to answer any kind of technical or irrelevant questions. Don't have such kind of thought. I'm going to answer any simple question also. That's okay. Fine. Any questions? If no questions, I think we have enjoyed today with some beautiful visualizations, with some beautiful charts. So let us wait for the link. Yep. The link has been posted. We have the feedback link. So before you leave, friends, if you feel this session is, wonderful, give a like. Then also share across your groups, your friends, relatives, your family, whomever it might be, share these amazing sessions and ask them to learn Power BI, because Power BI is leading the market with respect to business intelligence. It is leading the market. Right, friends? I see no questions. Fine. So complete the feedback, give your valuable feedback in the sheet. Then you're free to leave. Thank you so much for joining today and making this session, wonderful. Again, we'll connect in the upcoming session. Till then, take care, friends. Have a great day. Signing off. Bye.